East Coast just hit by a magnitude 4.6 and 4.3, two large quakes within 2 days. Canada at the area of the New Madrid seismic zone extension. And this is the map as we can see it on Google Earth. It started with the tectonic plate of North American, the coast joining the Azores. That's where the triple junction is of the North American plate, the African plate, and the Eurasian plate. And here we see on the 3 o'clock position that volcanic seamount that points towards New York State and Pennsylvania, and on the northeastern side, even Maine. Maine, as we said, has 5 volcanoes. 4 are in a 100-mile distance from each other. And we have these recent quakes right there, 2.7 in Virginia, 2.4 North Carolina, 1.9 Pennsylvania, 3.1 around Quebec, Ottawa. And after the 4.6 in the Azores that you see here at the 2 o'clock position, we had the 4.6 off Newfoundland, and just now the 4.3 just north of that, northwest of that, of Newfoundland. As you can see there, that's Labrador. And you can see that's the extension of the New Madrid seismic zone. This is it. As we said before, USGS usually doesn't plot these on Canada, but it did this one because it was big enough to do that. And this is the area of Labrador. It belongs to Newfoundland Labrador area, right there. And let's see how many people was it felt, first of all. Was it felt? Will they give us the, no, nobody reported feeling it. What I wanted to ask is how many people, population density. I would venture to say nobody's out there. Nobody's out there. This is the, did we put the population on? Yes, we did. Okay, that's the Manicouagan double asteroid impact that you see here. One there, one there. And you can see that from the aerials very clearly. Okay. Okay, there you see that nobody lives out there, of course, so they wouldn't report feeling it. Okay, that's Montreal there. That's Ottawa. You can see that, you know, when I used to live in Canada, there were only 10 million, we were only 10 million people. I think now the population is 30 million. And of course, again, it's mostly on the East Coast. And as we said in the previous video, here you go, the population in the United States, most of them are on the East Coast, as you can see. I think 20-25% are on the East Coast. Oh, take this, let's take this, that's much better. Okay, this is the Azores right there. You remember we had the Turkey quake a couple of days back, right here in this area of just above the Euphrates River, right there, the 6.8 and that huge swarm. And then we had another one here, close to Constantinople, Istanbul. And then we had one in one of the Greek islands, Karpathos, I remember. Then we had one in Albania, then we had one over Rome. And the pressure was going west. And we had one in Rome, as said that the word was, yeah, okay. And we have, these are the Atlas Mountains, these are volcanic mountains. Then we had one here, the Azores, which are, of course, again, volcanic islands. And that's the triple junction of the American plate, the tectonic plate, the African plate, and the Eurasian plate. This is Europe, that's considered going into Asia. Okay, and we saw that the miles from Turkey here, this Euphrates River quake, from here to the Azores is 3,600 some odd miles. And when we saw that traveling, we wondered, well, I wondered, and I commented to you, I said, I wonder if it's going to hit the East Coast, because that's only about 1,500 miles from there. That's less than half the distance than Turkey to the Azores. And lo and behold, we're getting earthquakes there. We're getting these earthquakes, we're getting that earthquake. We got the 4.7 here off Newfoundland, and we've got this 4.3 here today. And let's remember that this is also a seamount. There's 30 volcanoes here, 30. And they go like this, they go like this. We've had Pennsylvania quakes, we've had the Virginia quake, we've had the North Carolina quake in the past couple of days. This line here, and these are even bigger. Thank goodness, as we said before, there's hardly anybody living up there. Okay, you have populations there, all these little fishing villages. Absolutely nobody living up there. Nobody. Okay. I don't understand why Greenland is so frozen everywhere, whereas Canada, which is not too far away, is just totally green. Something is wrong with this map. Okay. Now, let's go to Google Earth. We can see it here. Again, the Azores. This one here, the 4.7, the 4. What was that today? 4.4, 4.3. The 4.3, yes. And Canada has this one plotted here. Okay, that's the 4.6. I keep calling it 4.7. And this one again, February 2nd of 3.1 in Quebec. And what day was this? Okay, the 30th. Okay, 3.3. So you can see that we have activity there. And this one today. Okay, just about a little while ago. This came on as I was doing the other quakes on Hawaii and Virginia. So this is recent. And as I told you, I think it's also the pressure coming from the east, traveling towards the west. And of course, this junction here is very weak. So we had the 4.6 quake there and in those volcanic islands. And please be careful now on the East Coast, because we have activity up here, and they're not small. 4.6, 4.4, 4.3, they're not small. And we remember that this is very soft sediment. I used to live in Montreal. Many times I told you, both my parents were architects, and of course they were working for firms that were putting up high-rise buildings, although they're not that high in Montreal, but they, it could be 40, 50, 40, 50 was very high, but 10, 20 floors, because they don't have that many people anyway to house in there. But it's so soft that they explained to me that as many floors as you have above ground, you need that many basements below ground. Otherwise, the building would sink and topple over like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, because the ground is so soft. And this whole area is soft, as opposed to the West Coast. And you could feel the earthquakes here 10 times more than you could feel them on the West Coast. So please be careful, because it looks like, the one here, they felt, 300 and some odd people felt it. 300 and some odd people felt the Virginia quake. Oh, 372, they've increased a couple of people. So that means that thousands have felt it here. And whereas there was nobody there to feel this one. That would have been big, though. I mean, if that was in Montreal, forget it. Forget it. So please be careful. I think that it's has definitely something to do with the pressures coming in from the big quakes in Turkey that were traveling, all this pressure traveling west somehow. Okay? I definitely think it has something to do with that. So please be careful again. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.